everybody. So today I have my daughter here, Hannah, and we have baby Froggy to help demonstrate for picking up and putting babies down in a crib, on the floor, and some of the other everyday moves that we do. So Hannah, do you want to say hi?
Hi.
Give them a wave. Good job. Okay, so first, do you want to go sit in your seat? And then I'll call you in a sec. Okay, so first thing I want to teach you is how to stand properly. So what we want to do is stand tall. And when I say stand tall, I don't mean like when you tell a kid to stand tall and try and get measured and they go like this and they arch their back. What you want to do is actually like somebody's pulling your ponytail and it's going to pull you up. So that's what you want to do there to go tall. And then what we want to do is we want to lift our chest and pinch our shoulder blades and engage our abs, okay? So this is the stance that you want. And what's key here is that you want to keep this arch in your back. You don't want to flatten your back. So a lot of people you'll see will do this pelvic tilt like this and they'll flatten their back. And what that actually does is puts a lot of pressure on your pelvic floor, and it also causes you to hunch and putting pressure on your diastasis. So if you keep doing this, you're going to end up peeing your pants and looking pregnant. And nobody wants to do that. So standing tall, let your pelvic go natural in the neutral position with that arch. And whenever we pick something up, we want to stay in this position, okay? So remember, standing tall, chest up, shoulders back, engage shoulder blades and abs. Okay, so I had a couple of questions, but the first one we're going to do at the moment is picking up a toddler. So Hannah, come here. Oh, you're going to bring baby too? Okay, we called this baby frog. So I'm going to put baby frog down for a sec.
Okay.
Great. Now when you're picking up a toddler, the natural thing to do is to hunch over and grab and go like this. Okay, and what that's doing is putting a lot of strain on your back because you're bending it like this and you're also putting a lot of pressure on your abdominal wall. So how you should do it is make sure that your toddler is nice and close to you, and then bend your knees, sticking your bum out so that you keep nice and flat back, and then bring up. And what you want to do is actually use your arms, not your back. So you're pivoting from your hip and bringing up. Now how I hold is I use my arm for support here so that it's nice and easy. I'm using my arms and I can keep my weight in between both feet and that good posture. What a lot of people do is put the baby or child on their hips. Now, what tends to happen when you do this is you stick one hip out. What that's doing is causing you to twist and put a lot of pressure on your abs, and you end up sort of twisted like this, and this is going really bad for your back. If you need to have your baby on your hip, make sure your arm is under their bum. Make sure your weight is evenly between both feet. And actually think about leaning ever so slightly forward. Now it's going to be a lot harder on you to do this. You're going to be using much more upper body strength, but that is taking the pressure off your back. And the other thing to do is to always be switching sides. So if you're on this side a lot, next time you pick them up, switch them over to the other side so that if you do get a little bit of twisting, you're evening yourself out. Thanks, sweetie. And putting down, remember, it's always hinge from your hips there. So whenever you're bending, what we're going to do is we're actually going to go into a squat motion. And what you want to do here is you want to bend, push your bum out, and keep your back straight and keep your eyes down to be able to pick up. So say you're going to pick up these toys. The natural way to do it as a mum is to just grab the toys like this, putting all that pressure on your back. But instead what you want to make sure you do is squat each time you pick them up, or squat when you put them down. You can play with them now, sweetie. Note also I'm not twisting. If you twist, you're also putting extra pain on your spine and on your abdominal wall. So no twisting and always squat motion. Now key for squat, you need to keep your heels on the ground. You will see a lot of people who pick up their babies and they say, do it like this, squat down, squat. And all that's doing is putting a lot of pressure on your knees. So what you want to do, Hannah, can we be quiet, please? Okay. Thank you. What we want to do is make sure our feet are flat on the ground, our knees go over our toes, and our bum sticks back. So we're nice flat position there. So we're pivoting from our hips. Now if you find that your knees go in like this, and you just can't do it, put them out wider, take your toes slightly out, and squat like this. This is fine too. That gets you down further. Again, pivoting from your hip, down. So on the side view for that one, down, pivot, pick up, straighten, and pull. Okay, so I had a couple of questions about babies and picking up babies. So I'm going to use baby frog for a second. Here we go, here's our baby. Now if you're going to be putting baby on the ground, often it's a little trickier to do it in that squat position. So what I suggest is coming down onto one knee, sticking your bum back out, and placing the baby down that way. And that way, Hannah, I need to use baby frog. I'll give them to you in a sec, okay? That way, you're not hunching over the baby like that. And same thing when we're in a crib. What you want to do for a crib, now normally you'd be obviously the other side, but for purposes, Hannah, please. What you want to do is you want to actually lean right against the crib so that you can bend and lean over to place the baby in the cot. Now, if you have diastasis, this might be quite hard on you. So I suggest putting a towel on there so that it doesn't actually dig into your gap. So again, your cot should be against the wall, and you're probably going to be on the side view, but we'll go this way. You're going to lean, bend your knees, stick your bum out, lean over. If your baby is not close to you, pull your baby closer to you, scoop under your head and bum, bring up, and bring up this way. And that's how you're going to pick up the baby. Now, Hannah, should we get you into the crib? Yeah? Yeah? Okay. So with an older kid, come here, sweetie. Okay. Again, remember, close, bend, use your arms, and come up. And then place in, bend with your squat position, and ask them to lie down. Now, if they can't stand or they can only sit up at this stage, could you sit up for me? Thank you, just sit up. What you want to do, again, same repeat. Thighs against here. Now, if it's a higher crib, you will want to step still because you want to be able to lean over. So, step stills are great things to have. Making sure you bend, lean over, use the crib as support, and pick up, bring it close to you, and up. Thanks, sweetie. Good job. And down.
Baby Froggy down.
Great. Now, I had a couple of questions. One was about a stroller. So, Hannah, can we pretend to have a stroller again?
Yeah.
I was going to borrow this. We're going to have to pretend for a little bit. This is our stroller. Hannah, can you come and sit in the stroller for me?
I just put Baby Froggy in here.
Okay, you put Baby Froggy down.
And
Our stroller happens to be under a whole load of car parts at the moment. We obviously don't use it much anymore. But let's say this is our stroller. What we would normally do is come in, bend, and pick up our babies like this, okay? Again, putting that pressure on our back. Can you sit back in the stroller? What you should do is get rid of any trays or anything that's in there. bend down onto one knee, unstrap them, then bring them into you, and then stand up. So you need to go down to their level to be able to pick them up. Thanks, sweetie. I had another question. So Sabrina, hopefully I've helped you with the crib low to the floor. Christy wanted to ask about picking up an older kid who can sit but can't stand yet. Okay, so Hannah, can you come sit down on the floor for me?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, thank you. So one way to do this so that we don't hurt our back is you can go into that squat position as we talked about before. Could you turn around a little bit? There we go. So we could go into this, but again, that's going to be, especially once they're heavier, it's going to put a lot of pressure on you to actually bring them up with your arms. So what I would suggest is coming down onto one knee, making sure you're nice and firm there, sticking your bum out so your back stays flat. Then I would place them actually onto your knee so that you can then use your arms to stand up and then place them wherever they need to go after that. There you go. Thank you, sweetie. So that's how I would get an older kid who can't stand up. Think about it in 2 phases. And again, the key is no hunching of the back there. That's what's going to put a lot of pressure on your lower back and on your spine. We had another one which was from Ashley about an infant car seat. Actually, I put a really good post from family chiropractors down below. It's about 3 or 4. Go check that out. It's an amazing one. I wish I had known when I was holding my car seat. I don't have a car seat anymore, but it was how she wrapped her arm around to hold the car seat like this, and it was really good for your hips and your back. So do check that one out. Abigail asked about shoes and socks. So there's a lot of everyday movements that we do. So if we have shoes and socks, there's a couple of things that we can do. We can have a chair and put one foot up on the chair when you do this. Again, bending this bottom knee, sticking it out, and putting your sock on like this. Personally, I have really tight hamstrings, and this isn't the best method for me to do that, but a lot of people can do it that way. Another method is sitting down and then bringing one leg up like this, so you're still nice and flat, and putting your sock on like this. Now, if that's not possible either, having an actual bench, so if you have more room, and let me just move this around, if you have more room, what you can do is turn so that your foot is up this way, and again, you're nice and flat, your foot's up there, and you can simply just put your sock on this way. Now, I know that this takes a little bit more time, but if you can get used to doing it and having a seat by the front door or in your bedroom, wherever you put your shoes and socks on, it's one less motion that's going to be hurting your back. And really, at the end of the day, it only takes one time of bending and twisting. It might not even be picking up something heavy that will put your back out if you keep doing it incorrectly. So think of it this way. Every time you pick something up, you're getting a great squat workout, so your legs and busts are going to look amazing, and it's one less time that you've put pressure on your back. So that's making everything stronger. If you have any questions that I haven't mentioned, please post them below. Next week I'm going to actually talk a little bit more about carrying your baby. So if you have any questions about that, also post them below. If you don't know what diastasis is, I have a pinned post at the top of my page which talks about diastasis for you. And if you click the sign up button, that actually gives you a free 3-week program to help you start closing your gap. Okay, well, till next week. Thanks, everybody. Bye.